Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the things I would like to be added in Cricket 24 with regards to fielding. I know it's a big topic because the thing which made Cricket 22 probably the bad game in that aspect is the fielding, because so many issues, overthrows, bad throws, throws to the wrong end, fielding issues in the boundary, catches dropped, like, yeah, so many things. So let's talk about the things which I think has to have a proper, set of animations, which would be the Wicketkeeper animations. Okay, when it comes to Wicketkeeper, there are few things I would like to be added in the game. Like, if you really want to have medium paces in the game, which I don't like, by the way, I want them to be removed and maybe have medium fast and fast medium as two variations. Okay, 120 to 130 one range, 130 to 140 another range, and then 140 plus and all, you call them fast bowlers. Fine. If you come to the Krunal Pandya range of 110, 103, 104 range, please let the wicketkeeper come closer to the stumps, up to the stumps, have a set of animations for that, along with a proper set of animations against spinners where the takes are proper, the catches are proper, the range of catches are proper, the inside edges are something they try to attempt but they fail to catch it, because you can't make the fielders so much like a superhero every time you hit it to the cover region and you try to run a single, they take the ball, they flick it like it's a carom coin, and they just hit the stumps every damn time. How bad can that be? Because it's like not hitting the stumps is a rare thing, so that needs to be stopped. There has to be a proper, you know range of fielders where some are really bad and you have to think about where to place them, because that is not even a thing right now. You can place anybody anywhere. If you really have fielders who have bowled like 4 or 5 overs, they will be exhausted, and if you are aiming a shot to them, you should be able to get that extra run because they are slow. So those kind of aspect needs to come into the game as well, which is not there. So first things, wicketkeeper animation, where the way they take the deliveries, the range of the deliveries which they can catch, which they try to attempt, which they cannot even think of attempting. Okay, those are the ranges we have to get it right, because every time they can't become superman, take that leap of faith and catch the ball as if it's not a big deal at all. It can be done, but it should be a rare thing. So maybe based on the skill set, have that kind of range, but the range should be restricted. And also, when it's an inside edge, and when the wicket keeper has taken the stance towards the offside, coming down the leg side and catching that ball is hard, it is tough, it is good attempt kind of a thing, not something which everybody expect you to take, because it is a tough catch, and those tough catches have to look like, oh my god, I had an opportunity. But yeah, well tried. Those moments have to be there. You always can't make it seem like, why didn't the wicketkeeper take it? We know that he is a superhuman and he can take all the catches in the world. That shouldn't be the case. Okay, these are things. Then uh, another thing I wrote was how early they judge the ball to catch, because when you take this, the position they are in, and they get up and take the catch, how fast they can react. So the reaction time should be based on the skills as well. You see, every damn time you hit an edge, when you try to cut the ball against spinners, the wicket keeper is already in position, covering whole body and taking the catch as if he knows that is going to happen. That's the most poor form of fielding you can see, because the game is showing that this is kind of known, but we will make sure that you can't do this, because we will make the wicket keeper be in the position already before, even before you start playing the shot. That is not the thing. That should be avoided at all costs because it ruins the gameplay for me at least. Because I play cut shots a lot. I play into the gap between those two fielders behind point more many times, but the wicketkeeper catches them many times as well. And the range is not even human. Just make them have a human kind of range. So superhuman, remove the super, just have the human. That's what I need. And then deviation of the catch. Okay, if I take a faint edge and it's caught, awesome. If I take a heavy edge and it is attempted and sometimes caught, sometimes dropped, super. Don't make it happen every time. Because the other day, if you guys have seen the IPL match where Dhoni took a very difficult catch, which was like he said, he was in the wrong position to take that catch, but the deviation was so much, but the gloves just went to the position and he caught it. That's a rare thing. It's not something everybody can do every time. Even Dhoni cannot take that kind of a catch every time. It's not going to happen. But it should be a possibility, but it shouldn't be a normal thing. The range should vary a lot. You should make the separation such that you feel like, "Oh, okay, that was a good try." You would feel like to applaud for the fielder rather than feeling that you should have taken that. You know what is going to happen. That's not the case. We have to set it at in terms of fielding. And for God's sake, make wicket keepers do the stumping, the take, the slowly coming back to the stumps to hit it. God, please help. We can't take that anymore. We want proper stumpings, not Dhoni level stumping, where you take it and hit it. Not even that. Just have a proper, Ridhiman Saha kind of taking properly and hitting it, the stumps. That is what is needed. We really I have had moments where I have bowled so very well to deserve some stumping, but the game does not give a damn about that situation. But whereas when I am trying to loft the shot and try an advanced down shot, the slow animation triggers, the wicketkeeper is like Dhoni every time, and they just hit the stumps as if it's not a big deal at all. Please sort that out. Okay, coming to normal fielders, the fluidity. I always wanted to talk about this because when the fielder is coming, running into the ball, and he picks up the ball, you have two animations there. One is picking up, then it stops, then after that the throw triggers, and before that, even before the throw, they are ready to run the second run because AI knows he is a dumb fielder, and AI is smart enough to run two as well. And we feel like, what the heck happened? That shouldn't be the case. When I take the ball, even if I'm tapping it back from the boundary, and you have done a good job, I'm applauding for the effort. But what happens is he goes into the boundary, he gets up, he has dinner, he comes back in, he takes the ball, he looks at the ball as if he has seen it for the first time, then he throws it. Before that, they have already ran four. Now, what is the reason for him to tap it back when they have already ran four? Please sort that out, where they take the ball, throw it with the flow. So I don't know how the stitching is going to happen. Like, two animations are getting triggered here, so I don't know whether you can like make it like take the ball, throw it as a one animation, or you can stitch it so fast that the trigger happens with a fluidity and consistency, where I want the ball to be taken and thrown immediately for the inner fielders, for the boundary fielders as well in the deep. All these have to be worked on because that creates the momentum in a match. When the pace is high and you have a good match going on, these fielding moments are the ones which makes the energy high. The hype around the match, and the situations is hyped up because the fielding is backing the bowling. So those are the moments we want in the match, and that has to be replicated through these animations. Only then you can make them feel like, okay, fine, The intensity demands such that I have to place the right fielders at the right place. If they drop a catch, I know I have messed up the fielders placement, not the fielders itself. If I'm having Virat Kohli in the deep, I want him to take the catch 99 out of 100 times. He can drop one or two, but what will he drop, what he won't, that should depend on the skill set as well. I can't expect some other normal fielder to be there and behave like AB de Villiers or something like that. I can't do that. I want that separation aspect to be there where your fielders are to be placed in the right place. And if I have deep fielders, make sure you see their running skills, you see their fielding skills, you see their catching skills, and place them accordingly. If you are having people in the deep fielders, see their skills and decide whether you want to make him there for his running skill or catching skill. All these kind of things has to be done. There has to be more depth to where I place the fielders. And if I'm placing fielders in the slip catch, I want them to be proper slip fielders, not some random person, because anybody can take any catches. There has to be a skill set where I feel like this guy can do this. That has to be replicated. We know that when we create teams and when we make players, we have to assign all the values and stuff, but that is on the creator's part. But the gameplay aspect, these separations have to be done where we feel like we should place the proper fielders. That has to be done as well. So for that, pick up, throw, catching, boundary, knowing where the boundary line is. If you are taking a catch and you are tapping it back while touching the six boundary, it can happen as well. But how much will you make it happen? Because right now what happens is there is a catch going in the deep and they catch it and they just go into the field like the boundary. They don't even attempt to throw, and while attempting to throw they have touched the boundary. If it's that, you feel like, oh my god, small moment missed, we could have changed the match score, something like that. So all these things matters a lot. You can't make the fielder catch, go in, just walk into the outside the boundary and make it a six. That is like dumb fielding, because there is a small difference where it's like good attempt, you could have done slightly better to avoid the six. Dude, what the heck are you doing? There is a difference in that. So we have to get that balance right. I can accept, because some people will be extraordinary in catching, throwing outside, I mean inside the field, going out the boundary, coming back and throwing, and just give 2 runs, or just give sometimes even 1 run because another fielder has come in to throw the ball in. So these kind of things can happen. So all these things will matter when the score is very competitive. The pitch is doing something. Again, the pitch also comes into play. So every aspect is like interlinked between all the departments where the wholeness of the game comes into play. That is the kind of game we want, because the atmosphere also allows us to feel the pressure you are in to bowl proper deliveries. So that these kind of fielding backing should be there, and that will allow us to do a lot better with the game. So these moments are very 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 important. So that is one thing. Another one is, like I talked about the slow animation, you taking it and throwing it to the fielders, another fielder, or you're throwing it to the bowler's end. When they take it, let them hit the ball faster. Same for the wicketkeeper as well. When they take it, how fast they can hit should be based on the position they are in. So let them be around the stumps. In this cricket 22, so many times I have seen, just because I have triggered 2 runs, the AI goes somewhere in front of the stumps, like 10 yards ahead of the stumps, and takes the ball, because if they were near the stumps and took it, they could have ran me out. How dumb is that? And also, please, I don't know from how long it's been there, but throws to the wrong end. So many times I know I can just play it straight to the fielder, run without any issues, because they are going to throw it slowly without even thinking of getting me out. There is no thought of getting me out at all. They have all the time. Okay. Throwing down the wrong end happens both for human and AI. Okay. There is another thing which has happened in cricket 22 which I have seen is inner circle fielders are running like horses. So every time a shot is triggered and the shot is played in between the fielders and you feel like there is one run, but even before you press the run, they have started running like cheetahs and already got to the ball. And the usual flick of the finger and directly hitting the stumps ends up in a run out. I know that you want them to be proactive and make all those fielding decisions and have a good environment for the 30-yard fielding and all. But again, it's on the superhuman end. The transition in the the trigger, then the take, then the throw should be in a fluid manner where the animations feel like, okay, he made a good effort, I just did not run fast enough, or I did not make the call early enough for that run to have been completed. That's the kind of mindset we should come to by watching that. So these are the things which needs to be done for the fielding aspect. Okay, hitting the stumps I have spoken about, awareness of the six boundary I also spoke about. So the moments like these will create lot of depth in the gameplay is what I feel, because even in real life, fielding is the backbone for whatever you do on the field. You might be the best bowler out there, but you need the backing of the fielding to perform well, right? That is the part of the sport. That is how you play the game. So it is the most important department to compensate for other main highlighted zones where you are batting at 70 or just hitting it all around the park, and one fielding moment, one extraordinary catch turns a match. That moment can be created only by fielding. So you can see how important that is. I know you are aware of that, but even then we have to have the depth in the animations, in the way they run, in the way they take and throw, the quick responsiveness. Because I can understand sometimes you hit it to the deep mid on fielder and you run straightly because he is deep, like he is outside the circle walking in as the bowler runs in, and then the run can be taken. Even in real life that can be done. So then you can trigger the slow animation, that is fine. But every time, because if I hit time it well and it goes fast, even then he's triggering the slow animation where I can run the single. That's not a good case. Those are the places where we need to see where proper things can be done. And the next thing I want to talk about is a topic which we have spoken for a long time, is the slip fielders. What are we doing about slip fielders? The first slip fielder is the most depressed person I can ever come across. He is like, why am I here? Why am I alive? Why do I even exist? When Wicketkeeper is going to take every catch in front of me and he is not even going to give me the ball just to throw to the bowler. How bad is that? Because I have stopped having first slip fielders. They do nothing to me other than for spinners. First slip fielders are dumb, useless, worthless people. Even if it's graphically, virtually representation of a person, it just does not have any existential purpose at all. So do something about it. Have the range properly for slip fielders. Again, you are making them dive too much. The leap of faith is way too much. Because I don't want to call it dive, because dive can be only to certain extent. But they take the leap of faith where they just dive and they the universe comes in together to take the catch. So that range has to be reduced. And again, how much is the range, how much they can dive, whether they will be able to take the catch or not, that has to be differentiated. I love when the game has ball coming in and it just hits the fingers and goes to the boundary. I have had moments like that, but why is it rare? Why can't we have so many moments where it is an oh my god attempt, oh nice one, nice one. See, that is the variation we want. That is the kind of range of dive we want, because it should be realistic, attemptable, but sometimes the extraordinary moment should also be able to happen. Next thing I want to talk about is, I have spoken about this even before Cricket 25, where I made a video on having a range around a fielder, a circle around a fielder, where you can just simply move with the D-pad. You select a fielder while you are pressing the look around trigger. As a bowler, you select a fielder. Now, when you select a fielder and you press A, that fielder gets selected. And now his circle appears. The range he can move within that circle. Left, right, up, down, two steps, two steps, two steps, two steps. So you can do that, so that what we can have it as a custom field for ourselves, where the range of fielders you can place is more, and it is more customized to your own liking. I know the AI has to compensate for all the tricks you want to do with this, because that is where the short assignments comes into play. If you are placing a fielder everybody outside offside, and you just can keep bowling outside off without the AI wanting to do anything, then people will complain what is going on, because we cannot explain we cannot expect the people to play in a legitimate manner or in a proper manner, where they will try to exploit the game in some way. But how do we counter that is what will come into the importance of the gameplay. If you can have those two things, where you have the range of fielders in a certain way, but even then the AI tries to find a way to hit the shots, because it is AI. I mean, it has all the shots in the book. You just need to assign that to trigger and to make them play certain shots, to make the human think differently and place the fielders accordingly. Because if you are always going to bowl it outside off and you can just get away with it, then where is the challenge as a player? Because we have to create that challenge. We have to make the AI so much skilled sometimes that the human bowler has to think differently. That is where we have to make the AI batting better, and also fielding range, where we can move the fielder within a circle, within their zone is what I call. So if you select a person, he will have his own zone, where say for example point fielder. Okay, point fielder will be able to move in front of gully kind of area. So he can move two steps forward or two steps left or right. So backward point, and it will be in between them, it will not be their position itself. So backward point is here, point is here, he can move towards here. So this is his two steps, this will be his forward point region. So those range he can do. And say for example, if he is here and the ball is not coming onto the bat, where the flow is not catchable height to the inner fielders, you are making them come in a bit. Instead of making them come in a bit, I can try to let one or two fielders come inside. Like this fielder, the point fielder I'm talking about, he will be here. Okay, here is the batsman. So now I can make him move two steps in the front, and this will be his new position. So here will be the batsman, so the range will be closer, but other fielders will remain the same. So what it will happen is, it's as if I have set the fielder for the AI to see how they counter attack that. Again, movements, nothing else. It's all in the fields, because every time you try to do something with the game, it's all to create those special moments for you to play the game again and again. That is all there is, because it's a game. At the end of the day, you can say all the things you want, but we are passionate to play the game and to have such moments. Because how much ever license you have, how much ever stuff you have, how much ever clouds or grass, high quality grass you have, it doesn't matter unless you have moments in the game where it is, oh my god, I have to record this. Those are the moments we are looking for, and those can be created when the game is customized to a level where we feel like we are going to own this, but the AI owns us, and you are like, what the heck did we do wrong? So making the humans re-strategize while the match is going on, making the human think differently, making the human set different fields, plans, deliveries, variations, everything, and make the AI to a level where they are not like playing every shot because they can. They are playing every shot because you are not doing enough for them to get out. The realism factor, that's where again the balance comes in. So short assignment, field placement, fielders animations, everything is interlinked, and everything has a role in making the gameplay strong, because just bowling with the the seam and doing all the things which I'll talk about in the next one, that can be done, hopefully. Okay. And another huge issue with the game for me is the chopping and change of field every delivery. Why? Imagine the amount of hours the game will extend if they keep doing that in real life. I can understand one or two fielders, deep mid wicket in, you get the deep square leg out, something like that, or long on in and third man out. Those kind of things I can agree. 2 3 fielders I can agree, but it's like a whole new field. What is going on in that? Why are you changing so much? Even if it's test cricket, if one is a settled batsman, you have a spread field, another person is new one, you have one slip and short leg and everything. Totally fine, understandable. But there is no logic as to why the new batsman is getting a spread field and the old batsman is getting one with the two slips. There is no logic there. I know there are things which are put into get proper field setups in, but it's not happening. Somewhere the triggers are so complicated that it's just random field set every delivery based on what, I don't know. So that has to change as well. I know it's something which is of constant work, but it has to be done somewhere, because I set my own field while bowling, so I don't mind what the AI is going to do, because though that is my way of playing, completely fine. But when I come to bat, I want the AI to bowl to a strategy and try to get me out, or try to make me think differently, to get some boundaries and to get some rotation of strike based on the situation. So these things have to be done by the AI to make me play in a certain way, make me play the shots, and execute my batting plans in a certain way, and counterattack what AI is trying to do. That has to be there. But when you have all the fielders down the leg side, and the AI is always I know AI is going to bowl outside off when the fielders are inside the circle, I can simply loft it over the circle for a boundary. What kind of challenge is that for me? Nothing. But that is what is happening. There is no combination. There is a strategy in bowling, there is a strategy in fielding, but those are both separately done. It's not coming into together. That is what is lagging. The fielding I have, the field set I have, should compensate for the strategy I have in mind as well. That is where the combinations have to set in. So another thing I wanna like talk about is, can we let captains decide what kind of field sets to be given, and the captain asks me to bowl to the field and making me bowl to his plan. Can we try to do that for career mode? This was something which I wanna uh, see whether it can work out or not. I don't know, but I just had a thought about this, because captain's role is very restricted. It's like you can change the position of yourself, you can bowl whenever you want, all those things you can do. Other than that, there is nothing as captain as such. So maybe things like gameplay aspects to be decided by the captain would be a nice addition. All right. So what the last thing I want to talk about is the dives. So we know that Cricket 22 introduced dives, a great addition. I really liked moments where the fielders couldn't reach it and it went into the gap, and it kind of made you feel like, ah, nice attempt. But the dives again are in a place where it is not at all well implemented. I know that it is said that when the fielders cannot take it, cannot reach it, they will do the dive. But so many moments that I can't even tell how many moments they were that I have felt was shouldn't have been the case of a dive, because the ball is coming towards them and they dive in front to let the ball go to the boundary. So how do you explain that when the ball is literally coming to them, but they trigger the dive and it shouldn't be happening? So balance. Dive is good. Don't leave that. Don't drop it out. I want it to be there in the game. It is a good addition even for boundary fielding. When you try to attempt and it goes for a boundary, awesome. When you try to attempt in the slip cordon and it hits your tip of the fingers and goes to boundary, awesome. Wicketkeeper attempting just almost reaching the gloves but going over the keeper, awesome. Moments like this, very very important. Dives are good but have to be implemented properly, because so many moments they are a mess. They are the fielding nuisance, because it kind of gives the extra runs a lot of times. The misfield is like less compared to the issues created by the dives. So take care of that. Other than that, I don't have much to say. That's all. I hope you guys liked this video. So if you did, do whatever, comment, all those things. Take care, guys. I am looking forward to the game, and let's see what comes up. Also, I saw that Ross has visited India. Hopefully some new stuff coming up for the game related to India, which will hype things up a bit. And I hope people support the game, and I hope it is something which is worth supporting as well. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.